first of all, Shing, how did you come up with the idea, first of all?
Actually, if you look at what we are doing...
And tell me how it works, too, right?
Sure. So if you look at what we're doing, it's actually a Hong Kong innovations. So before the term sharing economy was invented, we're already using shared resources to do intracity deliveries in Hong Kong. But in the past, you're actually using voice to match the shipper with the driver. So what you do is you make a call to call center, and then the call center will show it into radio to get you a driver. But instead of using a voice, which is a technology invented 200 years ago, we now use data, so an app. So we're an app that allows you to deliver anything inside a city within an hour. So that's what we do.
So within an hour. So it is effectively like Uber, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. Now, how did you come up with the idea, though, more importantly here? Because you used to be, because you used to be a, professional poker player.
Exactly. So actually, you mentioned Uber.
It was a gamble, wasn't it? Yeah.
you mentioned Uber. So that's actually where it got started. So I look at Uber, and they match passengers with a driver, and they did it exceedingly well. And so I was thinking, is there any way you can actually replicate that model but elsewhere? So that's how we actually went into delivery. And also in Hong Kong, in the past, there was already call center model that's using shared vans to do intracity delivery. So that makes it very logical to use that approach, but to do it in the delivery space.
Well, tell me something, Blake. All right, you joined the party a bit later now, and you saw this is a proposition for the whole of Asia.
Yes.
And it's rolling out a phenomenal rate. I mean, is this sustainable?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We started very slowly to make sure that we had a product that people wanted. I mean, we opened in one city the first year, 5 cities the second.
How long has this been going, by the way?
Since December of 2013. So we're up to the point where last year we opened 30 new cities, and this year we're looking to do an additional 60 to 70 cities. So once we found something that people found very useful, now we can expand very, very rapidly.
You're making money?
Yes.
But I mean,
some cities. We are aiming to be profitable as a company.
As a company, when?
This year.
This year?
Yes.
Right. We're talking here about. Okay, so that brings me to, are there differences? Some cities are not working as well as others. Is there specific reasons for that? And which cities are not working because perhaps the economy is not so good? So you could be acting as a bit of a bellwether, even perhaps.
Well, I would say we have the most value in cities that are still developing, that are very fragmented, very messy, terrible traffic, right? So some of the larger cities you see in Asia, whether it's Shanghai, Beijing, Bangkok, Manila, these cities find a ton of value in our service. So these are where we're growing the fastest. It doesn't mean that the other cities like Hong Kong, Singapore, Taipei are not doing well, but the growth is really driven by the large fragmented cities.
And the ones which are not doing well then?
I would say they're all.
You would say.
Yeah. I mean, they're all progressing very well. What we see is that logistics hasn't changed in decades, right? So we're actually giving people a fast and simple way to do delivery. Customers are loving it. Businesses are loving it because now they don't have to buy vehicles, and the cities love it because we're actually making our cities more efficient because you don't need as many vehicles.
So he mentioned that logistics hasn't changed. There's a saying in Chinese that if you don't study well, you go into logistics. So and the reason that there's such a saying is because logistics hasn't changed in the past 20, 50 years. Now with mobile internet, you can actually make things more efficient. With vehicles connected on the internet, you can actually optimize the efficiency of that. So one of the founding beliefs of the company is that mobile internet is going to change the efficiency of mobile assets.
Well, actually, that brings me on to talking about, also the financials here. Now, do you guys, you got the Series B funding done. Now, do you need more money? Will you be coming to the market for more money? What's the deal?
We actually are cash flow positive, so that's quite rare for a startup. So we are not in a hurry to raise another round.
And, you say that, or there's a claim that you're Hong Kong's first unicorn evaluation of more than $1 billion US.
We are trying to become the first unicorn from Hong Kong this year, and I think that's also good for the city. In a way, there are a lot of conflicts in Hong Kong, right? And I think one of the reasons is that there hasn't been any new industry that gives hope to the people in Hong Kong.
Quick word, IPO in the future or trade sale, what's the deal?
We actually have a lot of fun running this company, so
you can still run the company if you've had an IPO.
Yes, so trade sale meaning selling the company, right? So more likely to be an IPO than trade sale.
Any time frame?
Usually the preparation for an IPO is about 3 years, right? So if you count it to 3 years.
Blake, how many cities are you going to be in at this time next year? Last word.
115.
It's quite something.